queens, welcome to the Deeply Rooted Vodcast Show. Here is where reality meets wisdom. You know, the first things first, we got to give a big shout out to the big D.O.G. G.O.D. for waking us all up this morning. Now, y'all can watch our show. Okay. We got a special show today, as always. Well, you know, the first thing is I want to turn up for episode number 7. Hey, we climbing, y'all. We climbing. Today's topic is love hurts, and we're going to talk about love in many aspects, life, relationships, friendships, family, all the above, the good, the bad, and the ugly about it, you know? Now, I want to just give a little shout out up in here to all our guests and hosts today. We got a big crowd today, y'all. I want to take a special time. I'm going to mention and run past everybody real quick, only because I want to, because I love all y'all in the room. Hey. So we're going to start over here to my left. We got Miss Yolanda. She is a state licensed family therapist. She is here to help shed light on our conversation today, to keep it, you know, make sure that we are talking in a healthy manner, because y'all know here all we do is speak the truth and state the facts.
Glad to be here.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. We're glad to have you. Appreciate you so much. Yes. Next to Miss Attaway, we have Miss Carolyn Thomas, the face of domestic violence. Hey, come on. She is a survivor, a straight survivor. You know what I'm saying? So we got her in the house tonight to talk about our love and stuff. Next to her, we got Miss French Fry, a.k.a. our one lady band. Y'all already know she gonna turn up for us today. Sister. Hey, we squashed our beef from the last show, y'all. High five, sister. God is so proud. Hey, you know you got your girl JP, the wake up baby. Hey, I'm your host right here, and along with all the rest of my co-hosts. We all family here. It's not a one-person thing. Together, we doing this together. Okay, behind me we got dude on the couch, but he is dude on the stool today. Beside dude on the stool, we got chick in the chair, which is AKA Miss Shay of Shay Creations. Yup. We changed up her title a little bit, y'all. Y'all know she was Screen Patrol Shay, but we don't need her on the screen, so when she ain't on the screen, she gonna be the chick in the chair. All right. Now to the right of me, we got my co-host, Mr. MacDo of Hot 5, y'all. All right, baby. Actually, now he's MacDo of Deeply Rooted. Hey, and he's gonna give us his high 5 hot topic today. We talking about mental illness today, you know, and love and all the aspects of that. Introducing new, we have, you know, Miss Coach Quee done been on our show. Y'all, she is a third-time veteran. And guess what? Dap them up, baby. She done joined the crew. So now we got Coach Quee on the Deeply Rooted crew to help us and our guests make sure we state the facts, keep it real, and pass on nothing but positive vibes and advice, okay? So y'all get ready to get some more of this mental nourishment. Last but definitely not least, we got over here at the corner of the couch our guest today, Miss Lucinda. And guess what, y'all? This is the aunt of Hot Boy West. We're here to talk about life and love along with us here. She has a lot of input on relationships, love. She's the bestie of Miss Carolyn over here. They came all the way from Houston just to be here today. So I'm grateful for you ladies. We prayed for safe traveling. They made it safe. And guess what? Now we about to have a slumber party tonight, y'all. Y'all catch some clips for that later.
You didn't invite me?
That's because you're going to eat all the positive vibes. Yeah. We didn't get a chance to tell y'all because she came a little late because we've been kicking it all day. Okay. So, starting off the back, y'all, we know we're all happy. We don't want this to turn into a sad moment because we're here to be happy and rejoice of the things that we know, that we learned along life. Love, good and bad, has taught us all a lesson one way or another. And so I'm pretty sure all of us have some type of stories to tell, something that is related to love in a good way, negative way, positive way. We've experienced things with family, friends, lovers. I'm sorry. I looked over at French Fry, you know what I'm saying, because I love her. We had to squash our beef, so, you know, I had to think about that. But anyway, love can come in any relationship you have with anybody, whether it's a friendship, a commitment, whatever. It's a relationship, and it's all based off love and trust and honesty. Anybody care to add anything to that?
Commitment.
Okay. What else? What else?
Trust.
Yes.
Yeah. Understanding.
Yeah. Understanding. Okay.
Definitely.
All right. So as we're talking about love, then we definitely want to make sure that we include those words in what we're saying. So we're doing it in a nurturing way, which I ain't the counselor here. Hold on. I'm trying to tell you how to grab this. I do want to say Miss Attaway here has been with me for a very long time. I met her in the earlier parts of moving to Waco, Texas. In fact, I met her while I was still in hair school. So we have been buddies ever since. She's been through a lot of trials and tribulations with me over the years. So we definitely can shed light on each other. And, you know, she gonna tell y'all, she know I'm telling the truth, you know. Get it together and all. Miss Attaway, do you care to tell us about your education a little bit? Just.
Oh, yes. I have a master's, of course. I'm licensed as a professional counselor, supervisor, which means I do work with those who are coming into the field. And I have about 30 years of experience working with all diagnoses, men and women, young children. My specialty is working with depression and anxiety. I kind of do that regularly during the week. And that all ties into relationships in some form or fashion, because we aren't just out there living alone and isolated. We're coming from a family, in a relationship, out of a relationship, and all of that affects us psychologically from time to time. Whether we talk about it, which of course makes it worse because we repress it, but it all affects and works together. And I think what our focus is to be healthier. Talk about it, get the help you need, take time to work on yourself when you're on the breaks from a relationship, and I think that'll be probably something that we'll bounce off of throughout the session. So,
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, I love that. I love that. So you said you have mainly worked with children, or
All spectrum,
Yes.
from 8 to 80.
Yes.
If they come in and they want to work on themselves or they're in a crisis, then we try to do what we can to work with them to change their thinking, to give them better tools to cope, to grieve, to heal.
Yes.
That's been my focus.
Yes.
A lot of
I've known
those
you
I work with.
a long time, and I think
Yes.
when I first met you, I think you might have been out at the prison.
Yes, that's been like it's a new world, it's a different world. Many people don't really feel like that's where they want to work with people, but the people are there, they're getting clean, they're wanting to change their life for the most part. Some of them are there by themselves. And I learned a lot from them, and I work with, we were seeing 200 to 300 people a day. Not a day, but a month between my team and myself.
Yes.
So that was a busy time, but you learn a lot, and you learn about people when they're just stripped of no nails, no hair. They're just basic people,
Yes.
Right.
and they can be honest, they can be authentic. They want help, and they need support from
Right.
people and professionals, and of course they need support from family. But many times that relationship is severed, and that
Right.
also adds to them doing time, but I don't hear from anybody. So I am depressed. I am anxious.
Yeah.
So that was a teaching area for me. But then it made me be able to connect with anybody.
Right.
So I'm just open to work with anybody.
Yeah,
If I can help them, that's what I choose. That's the way I choose to use my gift.
Right. So you don't have a preference of whether you rather work with older, younger, or
No, not actually. I like to work with people who really are trying to grow.
Okay.
But I'll wait for you. If you're resistant, I'll wait on you. No, I don't. Not at all. Not that I've seen. It's just kind of like a ministry, like a passion. You know what you like to do. If you like to cook, you might want to cook specialties, but I don't really specialize in who I see.
Right.
Because of where I started, we couldn't pick who our patient might be.
Right. Right.
So, yeah.
I do want to say that though I met Miss Yolanda at beauty school, and as she was a client of mine, she helped me get through a hard time. When I moved to Texas, my father was brutally murdered not less than a year that I was here, and it was a very, very hard time for me. I was just young. I think I was about 20, 21, and that's how I got to bond with Miss Yolanda through that, and she coached me through that pain to become JB. The hairstylist, so we talk about having people that help us grow. And I see a lot of growth in this room. I know people that help me grow.
Yeah.
You know, she not on camera, but my mentor is here too as well. And that was a stepping stone as far as career-wise, because you helped me be healthy mentally so I could focus on the career that I dreamed about. And I want to thank you for that, because that was a strong point in my life where, love hurt. Top name of the show today. So love can hurt in a majority of ways, and for me, my deepest pain with love being hurt was the loss of my dad. It was very tragic, and I also lost family members, as we know that sometimes when people pass away, it breaks up families over the wrong reasons, of course, but it happens, and it happened to me. And I just want to tell y'all that I'm a survivor. I got through it. I still love those family members. I've been able to establish relationships with them past it, except the exception of one that, you know, hey, you know, God has a plan for everything. So what God did in return was He gave me other sisters that I could love in the flesh, and I still love her, you know. You know, just because she's my sister and I love her, and I feel like that a part of love comes with, you know, mental health, of being able to healthy love yourself so you can love somebody else. So we all know that she suffers from mental illness of some sort. You know, there's not a name for everything, but we do know that it's all related to a mental illness when you cannot communicate properly to close a gap and to mend a wound. So that is a part of that. And a lot of it isn't just that you just don't want to do it. It's a mental thing, because you convinced yourself that you don't need to, you don't have to, that relationship isn't important, especially when it's family. Family is important.
Very much so.
It's important. Now, it's not important enough to hurt yourself mentally to try to heal something, but when it's not the case, then I think that they have some type of mental illness, you know.
And that could be the case. I agree with what you're saying. It could be just control, or, you know, I want you to go through me for what you want, and that's kind of a personality issue.
Yeah.
You know, where they feel kind of some narcissism, some selfishness, that I can control some things, and it's just like you say, it does tear the family apart.
And all those words relate to someone that has mental illness.
Very
That's
much.
why we
Yes,
say.
it does.
All right. I'm going to shift the floor a little bit, because we got Mr. McDo here, my co-host, and he did promise us high five moments, even though I don't pressure him so much. Nancy, now since he's part of the crew, we don't terrorize him. But we did, I think that was episode 4, last days, when we talked, when we had the Bible study, the live Bible study. We talked about mental illness a little bit on that show, because we wanted to pray for those that were suffering from it. Mr. Mack, you want to enlighten us on anything in that nature?
I will say, I think mental illness is, you know, it's not a destination. You know, it's something you work on daily. You know, and the way you think, feel, and react to, you know, your experiences is how you develop a healthy one. So I just realized myself at this age, it doesn't stop. You know, you have to work on it in each situation. Alters it in some, you know, form or fashion. But yeah, so mental illness is something that you always want to be mindful of, and always, you know, keeping good thoughts and dealing with yourself first. You know?
Right.
Yeah. But I got a question for the therapist over here. So how do you deal with someone that you feel is they don't want to be helped?
That's a good question, because, you know, especially for our community, you know, we don't want to get out there and get the help. It's pride, it's stigma. I walk with them, and usually when they come and they talk to me, I say, well, if you had cancer, would you want treatment? If you're diabetic, would you want treatment? And I just say, why don't you try it for 4 or 5 weeks? You don't have to take medicine forever. You don't have to be in counseling forever. I try to just get them to get in the door. And you may have to go back another week or the next month and say the same thing, because some people are just like, no, I can make it, I'm strong. It's not a strong or weak thing. It's, can you treat yourself with cancer? Can you take out your own teeth? This is something you can't just do on your own. I think you fought a good fight. So that's the way I try to get them to come on in the door, let's just tackle it and see, you know, if you feel better at all.
Gotcha.
So
I have something to say on that point. Like, I think that the biggest thing is that everyone thinks that mental illness is something that it's not commonly talked about. It's not seen as a sickness. It's not seen like cancer. It's not seen like COVID. It's not seen like that. But it is.
It is, definitely.
You fight it every day. It is so hard to live in your daily life when you know something is over you. You have to constantly look at it in the face and be like, I'm going to take this over today. I'm going to be stronger than the depression. I'm going to be stronger than my bipolarism. I'm going to be stronger than this. I got to take control of my life because other people do not understand and do not take that into account, that I have to fight this daily fight every day, every second. I have to fight.
Yes. I want to ask Coach Queen to give us your input on mental illness. Like
mental illness, it varies. It varies, and you have to take it for individualized person. You cannot assume that every person that is suffering from mental illness is the same. Not every bipolar person is the same. Not every person suffering from anxiety is the same. All these different things come from a trauma that started when you were a child. It didn't just happen when you got grown. These are interlying things. I don't care if something did, not saying that I don't care. It doesn't matter if something happened to you when you were older, and say you got until you were 21 and somebody happened to rape you. You have to take in consideration that when I was a child, some things happened to me. So it wasn't so much as, yes, the rape, I'm going to forever remember that. But somebody raped my mind a long time ago. You see what I'm saying? So you have to look at it like that as an individualized. We just got to sit it on the floor. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people want to push it to the side. No. It is what it is. It is what it is. And we have to look at it as a seriousness and treat people with kindness. Treat people with kindness because we don't know what they're going through. And every trauma, like they say, love hurts. Every trauma, it wasn't that you cussed me out that hurt my feelings. It was the past people that cussed me out. And I remember that because I'm used to what you just said. But that's what hurt me, my history of hurts. That's what you're dealing with, a person with mental illness and stuff. They wasn't born with mental illness. They had to come across it. And it's a harboring thing, especially in our community when we're always told to hush and you're not giving, I don't owe you no explanation. Yes, you do. I don't care if I am a child. If I ask you a question, Mama, please answer it. We was always told to hush and you don't ask grown folks nothing. And never ask you about your day or nothing or what went on at your aunt's house or what went on at your uncle's house or what was on your grandma's house. Everything was always so quiet and cute and you better get over it and stop crying. They'll tell a baby so quick, you better straighten up. You know? Or you go,
y'all know the snotty nose, everything. Wipe your nose.
But you needed to talk. So all that stuff is harbored inside of there. So you have to, you can't say that, oh, this is just how I am, or no, you wasn't. Something hurt you. And just because, like she said, it's a lot of it is psychological. I mean, say it for me. Psychological. You got psychological. Yes. And get work. But when I talk about mental illness, it means so much to me because I have so many people that suffer from it. So, like I was telling you today, I could be in this 46-year-old body, but psychologically, I'm only 12. Mentally, I'm only 12. I'm still living in my 12-year. I won't tell you that because my body's grown. But you say they're so childish and they so because they're not acting. That persona is not there. I cannot act too long. My persona can't stay there.
Amen. I like how you put that, sister.
And you know, it's sad because a lot of people don't tackle the problems when they're a child, so they take it into adulthood. And then they act out on other adults who are healthy because, you know, it's some of us who didn't have childhood trauma. And I think, like for me, I didn't. And I think that's how I was able to survive the trauma once I became an adult. And, you know, my dad passed away and my siblings turned, I was like, whoa, wait, oh, you know, what is this? You know what I'm saying? So I think because I didn't have that trauma is why I was able to survive and walk past that and not let that change me as a person or be mean to other relatives or, you know, it kept me grounded. You know, and I think that like we said, we don't talk about mental illness a lot.
No.
We don't. It affects a lot of people. So I'm going to shift the floor a little bit, y'all. You know, we're going to talk about love because I want to talk about love and mental illness, but a lot, relationships, when they end, that's when you really see the mental illness. A lot of times you don't see it. Why do y'all think that is? That you don't see it during the time and then...
But you see it during the time, you're just blind.
Is that saying love is blind?
I think you choose to ignore it. Like
you're so infatuated
But when
with
you're in the moment, you're in the moment now, so you're like, okay, I'm going with, you know, I might change.
They gonna change. They like me. You know what I'm saying? Then y'all both mentally abused. They done abused you. Now you just subjected to it. You know, so that's crazy. So, Carolyn, we're gonna ask you a few questions about love, and we know that you dealt with somebody that had to be dealing with mental, illness. So it's like when you dealing with stuff like that, what are some of the signs? Like, I mean, we all know, like we say, we see them, we choose to ignore them, and that's okay. We're human. We make mistakes, we're supposed to, But once you dealt with somebody that, that you see like, oh, they had to have a mental illness, it affects your life. And you have to make sure that it doesn't cause you to have mental illness problems. So how did you get through it? Being so strong and you still so grounded, you still caring. You know what I'm saying? You still that OG.
I just think it was the way that I was brought up as a child. My mom, she was a young mother, but I was brought up in the house with, my grandmother, which was the matriarch, my grandfather, my uncle, my auntie. So we were all brought up in a Christian family. Like, on Sunday, you can't go visiting, or that's what we called it as kids. You can't go visiting unless you go to church. So, we knew, like, we had to go to church. And I just think it was just that strong upbringing. I also think, it was, my faith and trust in God that my grandmother instilled in me that brought me through that, because waking up, finding out that your mother is dead and that you've lost 80% of your face is a whole lot to deal with. And I think for years I didn't even really grieve my mother's death. Like it took me a while to be able to grieve that. Then once I grieved that, then I lost my grandfather, her father, on the 18th of December. She died the 5th of December. Then my mom's sister, she died like a month or so down the road. So even grief kills when you're in a domestic violence situation. And so it was just my upbringing, and I was in rehab for like 6 months. So I was really angry in rehab. I blamed myself a lot. I had a visit from his mother and sister where his mother came in the room and said, he didn't mean to do it, Carolyn, he loves you. Still taking up for him, even after he's, killed my mother and I've lost 80% of my face. She still was not able to even blame him for that. But I just put it to my faith in God and my upbringings that made me strong. And it's still a long, hard road. Like, I'm still dealing with stuff now. Like, I'm dealing with not being able to see. And I be telling my friends, I can't see, I can't. But I think a lot of them think, oh, she just saying it. No, why would I want to bring that on to myself? Saying I can't see when I really can. And that, I have to deal with that too. So I deal with a lot on a daily basis. I deal with still going out in public, even after 30 or so reconstructive surgeries. I still going out, still being self-conscious, and different things. I talked to Cindy, a lot about, like, will I ever find that man? But then on the ride over here, I said, just like I'm praying for a man, he's praying for me.
Amen.
So I just got to be patient.
love heals as well.
Yeah.
It can hurt and it also can heal.
Yeah.
But you know, what I've learned in life is not supposed to hurt. But, you know, when we lose a loved one, even whether it's tragic or by, you know, nature, you know, then it still hurts.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And that's a time when love can hurt. So I want to tell you that I'm very proud of you, sister, for staying strong all these years. And thanking God for your mental health, because if you didn't have good mental health, you would not be sitting right here.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. I never said I had good mental health. There were times in that rehab where I just cracked up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There were times when I woke up and I'd be like, man, I lost 80% of my face, but my mom just got shot in the stomach. Why is she still not here? Or they're bringing pictures up there of me and him from a Halloween party. And I remember like just turning pictures up in 1,000 pieces. And then I remember flipping my mattress in my room. I remember turning up the machines that administer the medication. So it was a long, hard road. I mean, and sometimes at home now, I'm 53. It's like 20 years, you know, in. I still cry sometimes.
You're supposed to. You know that crying and relieving that is like taking your soul through the laundromat, girl. If you don't wash it out yourself, you're going to dry out by yourself, mentally. You understand what I'm saying? And spiritually. So that is a good thing.
Yeah, because I did counseling, I did homicide classes, so you need help when you are going through something like that. I know I did.
Yes.
I'm not even going to say
I did too. Like, I can be honest and say when my dad passed away, of course, that was one of the most difficult times in my life. And I even seen myself to where I ended up on Zoloft pills because it was too much to bear.
Yes.
You understand? And I didn't have my children then. And I remember, I don't know if you want to call it committing suicide, but I do remember sitting there just lighting matches and dropping them on the floor. Just, you know what I'm saying? Because my dad was my support. And I never thought that I would lose him like that. Then I lost him. I lost sisters. I lost family members. You know what I'm saying? Over greed and hate. You know, and I hated the devil. And I just, you know, it was hard. And it is a struggle. It's still times that, you know, I cry. I do, especially being accused of my dad's death just because he left me everything. You know what I'm saying? And that was like the most devastating blow. The same people that I was supposed to run to be able to cry to pushed me away. And so I was left in Texas by myself to deal with it by myself. And so, like I said, mental health, like you say, it comes up and down, but you know, you gotta grab yourself somewhere. Yeah. And so there was a time, as I'm saying, I'm dropping matches on the floor. That's the old wood house. Y'all know that should have took fire. You know what I'm saying? And I think my dad probably was in there talking about every time I did it because I was sitting next to one of those heaters, you know, the older house with the heaters in the wall, all you gotta do is turn and hit the gas and light it. I was sitting next to one of them with the gas on in the bathroom. Wow. And so, you know, and it just seemed like he wouldn't let it burn, but I didn't understand it, and that's because I was not aware of even thinking about mental health because I had a good childhood. You know what I'm saying? So I had never had to deal with so much stress and then end up having to deal with it by myself. So that was like the most hard thing. Now don't get me wrong, my mom came around, but it was like seeing my mom hold me as a shield like she was taking the spurs from me, and that hurt. You know what I'm saying? She took it from family, so I can't say that. So I don't want y'all to think my mom turned against me. She didn't ever do that. You know what I'm saying? But when I say family, I really meant siblings. You know what I'm saying? You know. And my dad had warned me though, so I was like kind of you know what I'm saying? Had the Teflon you know, because it was just hard because I was not used to not being loved. I was used to being around a loving family where we talk. Because my mom, when she was younger, she didn't have a good childhood, so she protected us. We weren't allowed to go spend the night, so that way we didn't suffer the things that she had to suffer from other family members. Because like you say, they hush and put a lot of mental illness and stuff under a rug. And so I watched my mom suffer for that. Miss Yolanda is a witness. It was a time that I had to call Miss Yolanda, can you help my mama? She needs somebody to talk to that understand what she went through, because she taught us as kids, and we've been hearing it for so long, but we didn't hear her pain. Do y'all know I didn't see my mom move to another step of life after she talked to Miss Yolanda? And she didn't come to talk to Miss Yolanda. Miss Yolanda talked to her on the phone. My mom was in Vegas at the time when I was trying to help my mom.
you know, to get past what happened to her in her childhood and where her family treated her and stuff. So I've seen it, but you know, the experience of yourself, I know that's a whole nother ballpark.
Yes, it is. Yes, it's different. But it just piggybacks on what the coach has said. Everybody's going through something. You know, if it's grief, that's a loss. Domestic violence, whether it's to this level of tragedy that Carolyn went through or not, it's a loss of security, of peace, of the dream you had of that relationship. So you have to be open to talk about it. And people are afraid sometimes to say, how are you dealing with your dad's death? They think that maybe I shouldn't even bring that up.
Right.
Well, they haven't let go of it, and they need that time to feel safe and talk about it. Because you don't know how it ended. You don't know what the relationship was between them. So they need to be able to say, hey, you know, this didn't work out with Dad. The funeral was like this. Whatever it takes. At night, I'm scared. Whatever they need to say. That's just part of healing.
Right.
That's just part of healing.
And that's me. I mean, y'all know I'm French fry, but y'all know I'm crazy, but I'm just saying. No, but I deal with mental issues. I have PTSD, bipolar, schizophrenia, you know what I'm saying? But it's from my past. Like I said, nobody knows, and I ain't scared to talk about it.
Right.
When I was little, I was molested by a cousin, and it happened for 7 years.
Oh, wow.
Told my parents, and it was just like,
Yes.
you know, you a little girl, you're supposed to keep your leg. Okay, when, you know, like you said, when you go to people's house, you know, before you leave your house, you know, you already ate, drank, everything. So when you get to the people's house, that means you're going to sit on the couch until, you know what I'm saying, you've been there. So my mom blamed me for that. So it's like, when I grew up, you know, go to college, it was like, we was like, but how you said, water and oil, we didn't mix it up.
Yeah.
I was rebel, you know what I'm saying, and she was to me, but at the end of it, you know, growing up, it humbled me because both of my parents were both diagnosed with Alzheimer's and dementia. So, you know, by me being a musician, my life, like, stopped. Because, mind you, I had 4 brothers. I'm the only girl. Oh, they didn't have time for it. No. It's my family, my this, and my this, and my this. It was never, hey, Deshaun, we're going to give you a break. You know, it was none of the grandkids who came to ask for money. Nobody. So, it's like, my mom passed first. Than my dad. So everybody knew the will was in place or whatever. But when they found out everything was left to me, guess what? I'm the villain.
Yes. That's exactly what happened to me.
That's how
So now, and we haven't talked in 2 years. Even my son did the same thing. You know what I'm saying? When you, I don't need that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all are grown. You move that way. Let me be. You know what I'm saying? Because I have, you know, I have to deal with mine.
Yeah.
And that's what I've been dealing with here lately.
Yeah, on top of the grief.
On top of the grief.
Losing your
You know what I'm
parents.
saying? And then I don't hear, you know, how you doing because your mama, it's like, oh my God, I didn't know your mom and dad died. So it's like, it puts me, it rolls me right back down where it's like.
You can't really take the steps.
Yeah.
So, and it is hard on that super child.
And you can ask JP, all I do, I stay at home. In the dark.
I'll be like, get up.
I only come out if I have to play music. When I play music when I play music from 7 to 10, I'll be, what? We go, party over here, let's go. Now, 10 o'clock, I'm rolling the chords. I'm going home, lock my door, turn the lights off, and that's me.
Yeah.
But you finding your peace, you just don't let yourself be unhealthy with it, and that's what I always say to you. I always like sister.
But you know, isolated though, you know, that concerns me if you're isolated. But you know, is it helping you? Is it productive?
Yeah.
I mean,
you're there in the peace.
No, because she told me I'm not productive. Because I mean, because my mind get to wonder, you know, being with having schizophrenia, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, it.
Exactly.
I
So
tell
it's
you
like
though, when she get up and try to walk away.
I want me to get up. I was like, no.
Yeah. And
So
you will spend a lot of things.
I'm battling.
You will spend.
I'm battling.
Yeah.
And being that
want to heal, you have to
I
fight
experienced
it.
that. And that's why I try to motivate her. Because
It's
I
like
told
each
her
time I find out,
it's going to take time. So I do call her. I'll be like, sister, what you doing? Get off the couch. You know what I'm saying? I call this mess with her like that, even if it's to make her laugh, because I know when I was going through it, it felt good for somebody just to call me and make me laugh for no reason, tease me, ask me what I'm doing, repeatedly tell me, you know you're going to have to do that. I even talked to her about, okay, baby girl, you're going to have to move some of that stuff around. Because I was like that. I stayed in my dad's house in Yolanda, and I had to move his stuff around, the stuff that my family didn't take, because they tried to clean out the house. But they knew they couldn't take the house from us, so they tried to take everything else, y'all. So, but even with that being said, the stuff that I still had of his, like his clothes and stuff, it took a while, but I gave them away. I found a guy that was on the street. You remember Rose Pimp used to be at the shop. It was a guy that used to just come by the shop every day, and I feed him. And one day I saw him, I just gave him all my dad's clothes and boots and stuff, and it made me feel good, you know. And I recently just had to do that. Like a lot of people know, we talking on love, y'all. So another big love that hurt me is my grandchildren that I've been fighting for a long time. And Yolanda recently had told me, because I continue to buy for them. It's been 4 years since I've had them, and I continue to buy them for Christmas and everything. And just recently, I was talking to Miss Yolanda about it. She said, "Baby, good. It's time to garage sale and get rid of that stuff because it's piling up and it's making you sad every time you see it." It would be the first thing I would see in my storage and stuff, keeping it close, and birthdays and holidays and stuff. And I must tell you that it did make me feel better. I gave it away to kids that even they didn't need it. They came in my shop. They was good sitting in the chair. Here, baby. Here go a doll, baby. I told somebody come get this Barbie doll dream house. And I'm watching and seeing all that stuff go and bikes and stuff like that. But in reality, it made me feel a little bit better because I felt the joy from them kids as they enjoyed it. I thought about their laughs and their smiles and seeing their faces and even them fall on the ground and try, because I had some pogo sticks. The stuff that I liked when I was a kid, y'all. I bought, even though y'all know kids nowadays don't hardly play outside. But, I used to buy my grandkids all the stuff and wanted them to go outside and play. So I had all this stuff, and I still got stuff, lemonade stands, and I was teaching them to be entrepreneurs and stuff. And I have to still, work through it. But I do want to tell you that did help me some, and I passed that along to Kashawn. I was like, Kashawn, you're gonna have to move some stuff around, rearrange your room. It took a long time for me to go sleep in my dad's room where he was mother at, but I actually felt close to him there. And I knew he was there, y'all, because I remember being pregnant and alone, and I was crying, and the TV just popped on, and he let me know I wasn't alone. And it never bothered me. And people think that might sound crazy because, I told people about it, but I do believe that our loved ones watch over us. I believe that they, if they're hurting them, y'all seen the movie Ghost, they can, it makes them happy. I don't know. But I just believe, that they watch us. I believe that sometimes they see us cry, that it hurts them, and maybe they're able to do some stuff they ain't supposed to be doing. But I do believe that my dad was like that, and y'all to believe, the funny thing was, it only happened when it was in that house. You know what I'm saying? That was it. In the house in his room where he was murdered at. And so I know, but it took me a while. Miss Yolanda knows she was there with me a long time. We was pregnant together in that house. We did a lot of stuff. I remember one time we both was sick, throwing up. We on the porch rubbing each other's feet, talking about Daddy, you see us, And we both drinking the drink, and I think she had her baby before I had mine. But we go a long way, y'all. A long time. And I was so happy to meet her and her husband at the beauty school then. And I shaved his head and did her hair. You know what I'm saying? And we've been cool ever since. Speaking of her husband, y'all. Yes. Good read. Craig Anthony Attaway. What a pot can say about a kettle. It's a good book. It's also a play. Y'all check it out, because y'all know we trying to get these kids back to reading. They don't know how to read or write no more. They ain't texting everything, so y'all the book learn something, and it has a great message. This is the husband of Miss Yolanda Attaway. You always bringing up stuff. All right, y'all. Why you so late with it? You a crew member. That's your job.
You didn't see French fry. I was crying because my hurt.
It's your job.
Okay, y'all. So French fry always make sure she called up mom. Everybody raised their right hand. She said we just swear nobody did everything. Could have been a lie. You know what? At least it wasn't a guest this time. Last time Mr. Beasley got us. You remember that? All right, y'all. My deeply rooted fam, guests, loved ones, everybody in the house. Do y'all deeply rooted promise to tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Amen. Amen. Everything I said, y'all, was the truth. Okay.
I like that you wait till 40 minutes in.
That's your job. That's the only job you got to take.
I guess.
Yeah, she like, ow. Still saying, see how we work. We got to work together.
But I was in my feelings when y'all was talking about something. I was,
last time you was starstruck.
Listen, I got a question for Carolyn.
Okay.
Carolyn,
Marcus got a question.
How do I say this? Have you been able to forgive your abuser?
Yeah, but I didn't do it right off. It took like 10 years, maybe longer. And it was a lady I met in HEB, and she asked me that same question, and she was like, well, do you mind if I pray for you?
Right.
And I was like, hey, yeah.
Right.
Do it.
So what
so
does
she
forgiveness
prayed.
look like though in that space? What does it look like? Like, will you communicate with him or?
Do I know? I have not communicated with him since court. Like, only time I do see him is like if we do a news segment or a show together,
Right.
and we'll go to the unit where he is and and interview him.
Right. Right.
But yeah, no, I haven't seen him in person. I want to do kind of like a intervention type thing where we get together and we're only allowed to talk about like what happened that night.
Gotcha.
Yes.
But after we did the last Oprah show, he turned it down.
Okay.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
Well, he had some time to think about it, so he probably thinking, what the hell did I do? You know, I'm sorry, that's one of them, what the hell did I do?
Right.
I can't abbreviate that one, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Well, thank you for answering that.
You're welcome.
And I want to tell you that peace looks good on you. I'm pretty sure it feels good.
Oh,
You know, to have that inner peace, because until you forgive people, it's hard to have a whole complete inner peace. Even though that you got to move forward, they hurt you, they got to deal with God.
Yeah. And the forgiveness is for her.
Right.
Yeah, it's for her
Yeah.
to release that. So that it's really for us.
That's an energy, that you don't need to harbor,
Yeah.
because it can make you bitter at other things that you don't need to be bitter about,
Nothing at all.
And I think it also probably help her grow, with doing other things. So, yes. So, I know you spoke on relationships, or meeting somebody. It's a lot of people in that boat, y'all. So let's talk about love right now, and relationships and everything and such, Let's anybody care to start out?
What we doing?
Love is relationships. Yeah, let's talk about just relationships, a little bit of healthiness, and like she says, just like she's praying for somebody, somebody's praying for her. And I believe that for anybody that's looking for a relationship. I sure have my share, I've been married twice. I ain't scared to do it again, you know what I'm saying? But this time though, y'all, the third time gotta be a charm. So I'm be checking some things. He can check my DNA, I'ma check his, all that. You know what I'm saying?
Ask them questions.
You know what I'm saying? Did you get your rabies shot? I said the order. What?
I know you talking about did. That's supposed to ask them questions.
I've been saying, what I'm saying is that it's gonna be a thorough investigation. You got what
And
I'm
I think
saying?
that's a good point though, because you should build a foundation for love.
Right.
And if you're thorough, we begin to learn each other in the first stage. We're not just moving so frenetically, so fast to get the Instagram picture. We're engaged and show all that.
Right.
We do need to kind of slow down and know each other. See the people that they're with. Know their family.
Right.
So you're not like, I didn't know anything that he had 10 kids. Slow. I think that's
that is the key that you said. Like we missed that.
Yeah, we don't slow down enough to learn each other.
Sometimes it be like instant pleasure,
Right.
lust,
Yes.
it's like you don't fully love. You know what I'm saying? Like you grow to love, like you said. Like I don't think it's like instant.
Right.
You grow and you build on it, and that's
that's
how.
it, to build
Like
on.
even with what you were saying earlier about. Love not really supposed to hurt. It's supposed to be unconditional. Like when it's natural and you feel it, it's just something you naturally do. Like love somebody like you want to be loved. It's just it's in you. It ain't on you.
Right.
It's
I say a key thing now is that people should focus on growing in love instead of just falling in love with somebody. You know what I'm saying? Because growth learns stuff. Like I ain't gonna lie, I had some trials and tribulations. I'll be here to say. When they start acting weird, I take them to see Miss Yolanda. I promise y'all, I had a dude one time tell me he was 59 and he was 52, and I'm like, why you lying about your age? I still don't know to this day. Then we tell Miss Yolanda, like, why you lying?
It's confidential.
God,
Why are you trying to be over?
I was like, and then he would rub it in too. I look good to be 59. And I was like, you do, baby, you wouldn't be bored. I said, I just happened to one day, this is how I called him, y'all. I happened to one day, I said, you sure do look good, baby, to be 59. What was you born in? I know I'm 77, and I'm like, what? He said 74, and I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Whoa. Whoa. You know what I'm saying? And y'all, at the time, we was out and, you know, eating it and I had a little drink. So I said, wait a minute, maybe I misheard him. And then but I know I heard the 4.
Right.
So I was trying to, like, if he was 64, would it still? No, that wouldn't make it that age. You know what I'm saying? I had to think about it. I had to think about it, y'all. And it was crazy because, you know, the dude was all right. But I just could not figure out why he would lie about his age. And not only that, y'all, his name too, Lord. I said, Lord.
His name, oh no.
That ain't good. That's confidential, huh? That's confidential.
I ain't even asked Miss Yolanda because I just told it. You heard me? She just gonna laugh like, yeah, Bill. But and it was so funny because he actually would want to talk to Miss Yolanda. I'm gonna tell Miss Yolanda on you. I said, boy, she know me. She don't know you. Neither do I don't know you either. And so, y'all was funny. I gotta say this just for the human part of it. I never forget, like, and I was like, what incarnations, you know, the next day, and I'm thinking, like, is he gonna tell it? So I was like, I gotta find an easy way, you know, to go ahead and get him to tell it, right? And I think he got mad at something I said, yeah, you know, none of my guy friends are cool with, oh no, you can't have guy friends. I said, that's all right, and I called him by his name. You know?
Oh, Lord.
His whole demeanor changed. I was just like, Lord have mercy, thus it is truth. You know what I'm saying? And I don't understand why people would lie to try to get somebody to fall in love with them. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
he wasn't trying to get anything from it. He was like overdoing stuff, overbuying, and I think that was a distraction for the lies. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good point.
That's kind of what we had to boil it down to. Since she's confidential, but I had to boil it down there. And then y'all, you know, she talked to him one-on-one, and then, you know, after that I was like, okay, well maybe he gotta go lie. JB, it's okay, give him another chance. Well, if he lied, remember you said hug before the end of the session. I said I ain't hugging him. Because I'm a realist. Don't play with my love and my heart. You know what I'm saying? You know? And my friends was laughing at me. They was like, Jamie, you cold? You got a thick head counselor. I was like, you know, it ain't that. It's just, you know, he needed some help.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I was trying to help. If you care about somebody where you go to love, you gotta help them and love them in no matter what. So I didn't know if he was suffering from some childhood. I didn't know if he was hiding or something. So, you know, I didn't know. But I wanted to try to figure it out because I understood that, you know, he had some trials and tribulations in his life. So I figured maybe that was a reason for it. I think the only thing, I can speak on Miss Yolanda's behalf because she ain't said, but I think the only thing he said to her was that, you know, he liked to try to get to know people well. Okay, well, you don't ask nobody to marry you and then they find out your name ain't your name and your age ain't your age. That's why I was trying to find out because I was like, okay, you done asked me to marry you. You done bought me a ring.
Right. Wow.
But I don't know your real name.
No, it was. I thought it was his real name. He even was y'all was like. I said. He said, well, let me help you with the baby daycare. I said, well, they're going to need your ID, you know, so I can give it to him. He held that off for a whole minute.
Wow.
See, that's it. Right?
Yeah, but see, I kind of let it catch up because I knew he couldn't run with it too long, you know what I'm saying? And so that's like I told you, I'm not going to let nothing bubble and be fake with nobody. So what I'm saying is that when I called him the night we was out eating, what year was you born again? And he said 74. I told you my antennas went up. But since I was drinking, I didn't want, because he didn't drink.
Right.
I didn't want him to blame it. Oh, you just heard that when you drink. So I didn't even say nothing. I just listened more. Sometimes you just let a person talk, they will tell you everything.
Right.
And so that's what I did. And then so y'all, so I was like, okay, you still want to help me get the baby from daycare? Let me see y'all. I need to make a copy. First it was he at work in the morning when we go. So I was like, well, the daycare lady said I can make a copy and bring it. You know what I'm saying? And so y'all, he did show it to me. But he dragged his feet. And y'all, it was so funny because the ID was expired. He tried to tear off the date and everything on it. I was like, oh my gosh, what is going on here?
Can't do nothing with that.
Yeah, at all. So that's what blew it up from there. And I was just like, listen, really, bro, like this is why would you lie about that? Is my daddy. You ain't even a junior. You know what I'm saying? And you ain't going by junior. You know what I'm saying? And it was funny because he tried to use another lie or another lie. But anyway, that's not love.
Because when you tell a lie, you gotta find
out. Tell another lie. That's not love.
Because you ain't gonna remember what you even said after a while. Like you said, you heard the before, but you're like, wait a minute, something ain't adding up.
So sometimes when people that are dealing with mental illness, because that was a mental illness, y'all understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And they try to convince somebody who is sane like myself. I took them straight to a therapist. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I did. I was like,
you know,
You ain't a normal person. What do you mean?
I'll be the first to be honest, y'all. He ain't the only person I took to Miss Yolanda. I would be embarrassed. But I've had people like, I don't want to see Miss Yolanda. We had one guy explode because he was exposed. And I exposed him like that by just talking to him. So if people want to say I'm a dominant woman, no, I ain't no dominant woman. I'm just not a dummy. I'm going to listen.
You didn't set up healthy boundaries for yourself.
Yes, and I'm just going to listen.
And it's like, you love, like when you were saying earlier, because I've been married once, in 3 serious relationships, but you have to learn to love yourself, because once you love yourself, you can't just give yourself openly and freely, because like you said, that energy, it don't belong in every room. It don't, everybody don't deserve, well, I'm not gonna say everybody don't deserve a pour in, because everybody is worthy of something, but at the end of the day, they have to want it. They have to, you know what I'm saying? Like,
to accept it.
Acceptance.
Hold on, y'all. I got a question for dude on the couch. What you think about love?
I think about love. You see, I'm being quiet because I've been through it all. So there's a lot of sisters that's been quiet, that's been listening. What I think about love? Love is cool. I done did some things to try to prove. I told a girl that I loved her before. And but love is something that you gotta show it instead of just saying it.
Yeah.
Okay. How come I do it on the couch?
Action been walking.
Action. Dude on the couch is more than dude on the couch. He got a voice, y'all. I ain't even mad. Yes. What? Okay, you ain't got a time. You know this the part I don't like for the show off.
So what would I have to do in my situation?
I was just gonna come right back to you, so I'm glad you connected to
Nobody
me.
care about
I
me,
need you to kind of reflect on. I was gonna write to you. You need to reflect on your parents and live your life to honor them.
Yes.
I don't think they want you shut up in a house,
I see.
but in your own time.
Yes.
In your own time. How long has it been? How are you feeling? Go through their stuff, keep treasured pieces.
Yeah.
But plan now to move forward.
Yes.
Live like they would want you to live.
And see, I'm in the house where they both passed. So, after they was, I took them to the house.
I did that. And I did what I said.
Yeah, if you're going to stay there, change it up a little bit.
And guess who told me that?
Change the color of the walls. Change the dishes. Change things that are precious to you and you want to keep, like we keep our grandmother's bowl, keep those items.
Yeah.
But other things, bring in some new stuff. It's time.
And I go with her to her other shows,
some new things.
and I tell her all the time, your parents are happy looking down on you.
They are.
They proud
Live
of
to
you.
honor them.
You know what I'm saying? Because I knew.
I asked on the chat, if any of the viewers had any questions. So we do have a question from TT.
Okay.
TT said, Miss Yolanda, how important are love language?
Oh, very important, because that's a connecting piece. If we are not aligned with the languages, that throws off. If we can't do what Mara is saying, show it. Because if I'm bringing Mr. High Five flowers, that's not his language. He wants to spend time together. He wants me out serving, donating clothes, random acts of kindness. He wants to be affirmed. Oh, you're looking good. So proud. You work so hard. I'm proud of you.
Right.
We've got to know it.
Yes.
And ask. Don't just say, well, I'm watching to see what his love language is. No, what's your love language, Jamal? What's your love language? Ask and find out. That way you can move in that.
Right.
You can move in that.
Because everything doesn't fit everybody.
No.
Everybody doesn't like the same
Coach
thing.
Cooper said that. We're all different. But love languages are very important. I mean, that's something new to us. But yes, you speak into it. You know, they might not want to go out to eat. They might want a cozy night at home. But
Right,
you take them out to eat. So you're really not knowing me. You're not paying attention.
Right.
Ask that question. That's good. That's
Communication
real
rules the
important.
nation.
Is key.
I do agree with that, and that's how you learn anything.
much so.
I know I learned, boy. I bet I never be sitting around talking about he cute no more.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
We gonna learn he might be cute, but his feet might stink, and his whole way of moving around stink. He doesn't stink where he just changed his name, his number, his age.
But I think that goes back to the red flags. You know,
Yeah.
and as Coach Q was saying, you know, self-image and loving ourselves. And if I don't feel real good, I gotta come out with the mask and I'm showing some things and it's not adding up. But then sometimes we just slide right on by the red flags.
That's right.
Yes.
You know, and you know, his car is good. Or, you know, he's got. What about just him? Just focusing on him.
Yeah.
What are you seeing?
Right.
You don't see him for days. You can't go by his house. You're supposed to run your money. That's red flags. That's red flags. So,
Yes.
you know, I think sometimes we just miss. We're feeling good. It looks good. I'm happy.
Image.
But
And that hurts. Like, people don't understand that when you go from being with somebody every day and then it's a
Yeah.
next day it's an automatic absence,
Yeah.
like that's tragic
It is.
to a
That's-
certain
and we-
degree.
and we need
I
to
mean,
believe that.
you know, you gotta be healthy to move past it, but even if you're healthy to move past it, you
Yeah.
still mourn.
yeah,
Because
must
it's invested
take
in
some
so
time for
much
yourself.
time. Like as
Yeah.
Take some time.
So that's the main thing that I learned over time. The last show we had, we was talking about one word to describe the word love. Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
Time was the number one answer. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Because time is the most valuable
Yeah.
thing that you can give somebody.
Yeah.
You can't take it back.
Right. So
You
give
can't take it
yourself
back.
too. Give yourself some
Yes.
time.
That's why one of our other questions was, why do people jump from relationship to relationship? I myself need that time to heal from what I've learned and giving up that time with that person. You're used to being around that person. And like I said, I'm the first to admit, being in a relationship and then all of a sudden being single is tragic. You know what I'm saying?
It's a blow.
It's a blow. Not saying that where you can't survive from it, but it is one of the ones that is going to affect the way you move that next day, the way you think that next day. You know what I'm saying? Even sometimes, you know, just eating, you know, we lose all thought of time, senses, and everything when it comes down to love. Love is like the worst thing, worse than any drug anybody could ever experience. We done seen people kill over it, you know what I'm saying? We done people steal over it. We done seen people cheat, do all kinds of stuff, you know? So with that being said, love hurts, y'all, but it's not supposed to. You know, it's supposed to be a healthy thing. And even if it hurt, then love yourself back to it being healthy.
That's it.
So that's the strong power in love. I think I said my piece like I'm a therapist, boy. I need somebody else to enlighten me. You know what I'm saying? Yes. I'm like, hey. So yes, I know I myself, and keys to finding a healthy relationship, and this is any relationship. This is not just a physical relationship, a love relationship, you know, a romantic relationship. You have to have communication,
Yes.
understanding.
Yes.
You say do on the
Yeah, it's a communication.
okay,
understanding.
go ahead. You know, we hear your voice. We're gonna let you speak, brother. Right. But it has to be healthy in any matter. Any relationship, whether, like I said, it's a friendship, a romanship, a partnership, a business. You know what I'm saying? Anything.
Right.
It has to have good communication.
Right.
That is the only way any type of relationship will survive.
Yeah. And it starts with you. I think
Yes.
it starts with you.
It starts with you.
It starts with you.
It starts with you, and
It starts
you know, like you say, you watching the actions of the other person to make sure you bond, so that way you know how to have a relationship with everybody. Everybody not might have a good relationship with this person, a good relationship with that person, but you still might have a relationship with them, and you have to deal with every relationship accordingly.
Yeah.
Right.
Everybody's different.
Yeah. That's
You know,
that's
and so I just feel like you have to handle every relationship accordingly to each his own. You know, that's my love factor. I'm gonna love y'all, I'm gonna listen to y'all, but I'm gonna understand you. You know, if anything. You know what I'm saying for this, so I can't help it. I'm a lover, not a fighter. You know what I'm saying? But I will fight for what I love, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
I just wanted to tell you something. Remember how you said that, whether you knew it or not, you remember how you said you grew up and you didn't have any traumas? I want to make you reflect on something to let you know how you did have a trauma and didn't think it was a trauma. your first whooping was traumatic.
No, I'm sorry. I'm only laughing because that's funny.
Because you didn't expect to get hit.
Right.
That's trauma.
Well, to be honest with y'all, I really didn't get whoopings. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I was a good kid. And I was
Did you ever see somebody get a whooping?
Yeah, and I cried. Okay, then. I was about to say now, I used to cry when my siblings got a whooping.
Right.
And I remember one time my grandpa grabbed me to whoop me one time. They were like, nah, that's the good one, leave her alone. But y'all, my soul came out my body. Yes. I went limp. They was holding me by one arm. They was like, not her like that. But it seemed like when he dropped me, my soul got back.
Change your emotions quickly and drastically. That's a trauma.
It could have just been the lecture, just getting fussed out.
Just the fussing.
Yeah.
Just the fussing. Or just to watch it. Or just to see a belt come out. Or just to see Papa put his pistol on the counter.
Yeah, you knew it. Like,
I'm just saying, it's
yeah.
trauma.
It was my oldest sister, the one who used to have to watch us all the time. If she got a whooping, I lost it. I lost it. Now, my other siblings, they can get a whooping, but the oldest one, I would lose it. You know what I'm saying? Because that was like my home mama. You know what I'm saying? She protected me when my mama wasn't around. Yeah, so that did happen, y'all, but that was about it. And I used to be the cry. It's like, shut up, ain't nobody even hit you.
It didn't happen.
I know, y'all. But with all that being said, I've also had healthy love in my life. No, y'all have. I was married one time, 12 years. I was married my first time 10 years, my second time 12 years. So I did have healthy love. But I feel like once you are in love, you have to grow in love. And you have to fall in love over and over again. And sometimes people don't understand that aspect. I've always been a lover. I tried to fall in love again. They just didn't want to make love with me. I don't know why. But, you know. We're going to wrap it up, y'all. This was our Love Hurts edition. I hope y'all learned something out in the world.
I learned something.
You did?
I learned something.
Okay, good.
Love really does hurt.
Already. With that being mind, you know what I'm saying? I want to send out love, peace, and happiness everywhere. I want y'all to stay connected and deeply rooted at all times. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Deeply rooted. Deeply rooted. Deeply rooted. Deeply rooted. Yeah, y'all stay deeply rooted at all times. Y'all need some life lessons. Come on back and get this mental nourishing from us. All right, we'll see y'all next show. Yes. Peace. Good show, y'all. Good show. Yeah.